In this video, we'll look at tips for living in a condo, specifically going from a house to a condo, as well as what are some good etiquettes, how to be a good neighbor, and some great decorating ideas. That's starting right now.
Welcome to Homebuyers School, brought to you by Brookfield Residential.
Hi everyone, I'm Carl. Welcome to another Homebuyer School video, a channel where you get the latest strategies, tactics, and tips from home buying experts. And remember, if this is your first time on this channel and you want to get the latest strategies from the experts, hit the subscription button below, hit the little notification bell so you don't miss anything. So today I'm joined by Karen McDonald, Community Manager with Brookfield Residential. And today we're going to talk about condo living tips and ideas. So the first thing is, let's say you're downsizing or right-sizing and you're going from a house to a condo. What are some tips that you would have to consider or think about when you're moving from a house to a condo?
Yeah. So if you're downsizing or right-sizing, a lot of people don't factor in what their furniture will look like in their new home. A lot of the times downsizing means downsizing your furniture as well. So depending on where you've chosen to buy, it may not have room for a 12-seater dining room table and hutch. So that may be something that you have to consider. If that's the case, who in your family is going to be doing the entertaining? If you're buying something that won't have enough space for everybody to sit at that table, or may not have enough space for your California king size bed. So thinking about the space that you have in a 2,400 square foot house, and the size that of furniture that house can handle compared to, say, a 1,200 square foot townhome, that may need to change. You may need to gift or sell some of that furniture and get something that's all brand new.
And like when you're actually moving into a condo from a house, I think there's also things that you might want to think about in terms of the expectations you have in terms of, I guess, being a good neighbor too, right?
Yeah.
Because, you've had your house for so long, you can essentially play music or be as loud as you possibly want. But I think that probably is a change that there's other people around you too, right?
Yeah, and I think it's being considerate of that, knowing that if you're, playing your stereo, your video games, like late at night, that has like high bass or anything like that, your neighbors are probably going to hear that. I just think about the way you would want to be treated in that as well too. I think it's making sure that you don't play music well into the evening. If you do, have a good relationship with your neighbors so that you can say, I'm sorry, I'm having a party. I'd love for you to come and join us. If not, we'll be done by this time, or that kind of thing. It's just like anything, being considerate as a neighbor, making sure that you're not keeping everybody up at all hours of the night.
Well, I also think it is also when you mentioned who's going to entertain, what if you do entertain a lot, right? And maybe just you're used to the amount of people that come in, but some people aren't. They're like, why is that unit having all these people come in at all times? Right?
And I think it's just like anything, just kind of being a good neighbor means communicating with people and letting them know, hey, I entertain a fair amount, but I'm willing to do, again, it's a best set of compromises. I'm willing to do this and this and this if it's an issue for you. And I think anything, if you're partying every night, there's got to be something that's going to give there. Maybe a condo is not the right place for you then if you're partying every night. But letting people know what you're doing. And I think there's a lot of emotion that goes along with that. If people are woken up from their sleep, and continually, I think people will accept so much. But you can't do it every night.
But also, I think another thing of that, because I was in LA and I got woken up at all nights because there was a bike convention going on, and all the guys with their Harleys come in. So I was also thinking too, it's like, what if you have a loud vehicle or loud, right? A motorcycle that would be pretty loud for everybody else too, right?
Like, I mean, why do people rev their motorcycle engines anyways? It doesn't make any sense to me. So Noise bylaws are the same from the city that you live in as well. So any kind of noise bylaws, you have to adhere to them. Don't be that guy that, revs your motorcycle.
Yeah.
Don't.
Yeah. And I think the last thing I want to talk about is, let's say you're not going from a house to condo, but this is your very first house. And how about for some decorating ideas? Like, what are some things that you need to think about if this is your first, I guess, real home that you own? What are some things that you need to think about in terms of decorating?
Yeah, and I think it's going back to how you live. I'm sorry, I keep on saying it, but it really is. I mean, do you need a dining table? Are you going to sit there? Will your house house it for you? I mean, do you have enough space? Going along with the entertaining, do you need a 6-seater? Do you usually eat at your island or, on your couch watching TV? That kind of thing. So those kind of things that you have, if you're going to, decorate and make it easy for you to eat on your couch. Having a table there that's easy for you to do that. I think anything else like storage space. If you're a first-time home buyer and then you're living in a condo or a townhome, a lot of the time storage space is at prime. So you're going to have to come up with some storage solutions to make sure that you can, organize all of your belongings.
Does it matter, like, when you are buying a brand new condo and this is your first time, like, do those things matter, such as a granite countertop or like even appliances, or is it more so personal preference?
I think, it's somewhat personal preference, but you have to make sure when you're buying anything multifamily that you do not price yourself out of the market. If you go and sell your home in 5 years and you have just the absolute basics, and there's a lot of other people that are selling their home in that 5 years that have some upgrades that people quite like, they'll probably sell their house a lot quicker. To the same degree, you don't want to overprice your home when it comes to resale. You can think about all of the things that, you want these high-end handles, or you want different appliances, the best appliances. Are those the things that people are going to value as much as you do? What's going to be the best average out of that for you? So don't overprice yourself. Don't underprice yourself. I think the best rule in that is to go with the average of what people typically put in. And your sales representative or possibly your realtor will be able to help you out with that number, what that is.
What are some key upgrades that you think from a condo perspective that would add value over time, but not totally blow you out of your budget?
Yeah, I think typically it's the same as in any new home. It's kitchen upgrades, which would be countertops likely, storage space. So if you have the ability to have larger, taller cabinets, bathroom upgrades like having additional storage and cabinets. I guess just cabinets is what I'm saying. But anything that makes it look nice. Countertops do really well for that. Maybe it's a cool backsplash. But anything that you feel you love in the home, somebody else might love that as well too. So I mean, don't bear it down to the absolute basics, because somebody else will love your home for the reasons that you love it. Maybe just not in the same way.
Perfect. Do you have anything else to add in terms of tips for living in a condo?
No, I think it's just, making sure that you're aware that storage solutions will be something you'll be looking into a lot.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for joining us. And if you want to know more about the pros and cons of living in a condo, check out this video here. We also have a great playlist on buying a condo for the very first time. That playlist you can see here. And don't forget to subscribe to make sure you keep learning from the home buying experts. We'll catch you in our next video.